Fake news is unethical.
Fake news is misleading.
Fake news is bias.
Fake news is chaos.
Fake news is unethical because you are spreading misinformation or a biased perspective to make people believe it. It is created to change people's beliefs, attitudes, and behavior which affect people's lives.
Fake news causes a lot of misleading that will bound into misunderstanding between persons. It may indulge big issue or trouble between parties who are involved. Fake news is about the inconsistency of the information where it boosts more lapses that makes the news unauthentic. Fake news can make increased false hope and it will definitely affect one's capacity that will probably result into lack of confidence.
Fake news is a term that refers to new outlets that pretend to be real but are actually fake. Fake news includes false stories about all sorts of topics that are crafted in order to appear real and get traffic and social shares on Facebook or other media platforms.
Fake news? Fake news for me, it gives false hope, lies, and brings misinformation to people. Fake news turns people to make a wrong judgment. Also, fake news causes harm.
As a young fellow educator, let's fight against fake news by being wise and learn to evaluate the news or some informations we encounter, especially in social media. Always consider the source, its supporting sources, and author to verify its legitimacy. Let's start educating ourselves so we can educate others.
To avoid being a victim of fake news, we must practice our intellectual sense to scrutinize the information as to how factual it was. As a young fellow educator, I can help fight fake news by simply helping oneself to be aware of what are the possibilities, guarding ourselves from acknowledging misleading of information, and indulging oneself to practice the critical thinking skills.
As a young fellow educator, how will you fight fake news? I need to be able to distinguish bogus news stories from true fact-check journalism. These tips help me how to identify fake news to ensure the news that I read and views is verified and accurate. Being able to spot misinformation distinguished as legitimate news, I will enable to combat the widespread distribution of harmful, misleading, and false information.
As a young fellow educator, how I will fight fake news? Do your own research. Never rely on what you see on social media. We need to be willing to explore current events through the lens of multiple sources, including the ones that are misleading. Lastly, make sure that your sources of information are all reliable.